Hello everyone, it's the Canadian Wi-Fi here. Welcome to an OU battle. Today's team's going to be a bit of a silly one. This is mono fighting. It basically started off with Hawlucha. I realized building an OU is getting really stale for me. There's a lot of go-to mods that you end up throwing on like all of your teams. So today's team started off with I want to build around Hawlucha. It's a cool Pokemon. Man, SD Lucario would support it decently. They'd weaken each other's same checks. I mean, I'll probably end up throwing up a Keldeo, whatever. Let's just make it mono fighting. That's literally how the team building process went. Mega Lopunny is really cool. I really like it. And the more teams I can build with it, the better. Toxicroak went on there in the last slot as it gives me a pseudo switch into opposing Keldeos, and it also allows me to beat Mega Venusaurs and Clefables with Gunk Shot, which otherwise the team would obviously struggle with. My switch into Tornadus is non-existent, hence my name, no Tornadus please. Talonflame, I generally sack the least useful member, and I have a Koba Berry, which is the flying resist berry on Keldeo. And I'm able to live a hit and kill it off with Scald. I generally lead Breloom on this team, lead Sashloom, as I can just get off a Spore, and I figure getting something out of commission on the opponent's team early on is only going to heighten my chances of winning. So he gets up Rocks. Nice thing about Rocks against me as well is the fact that everything resists Rocks. I don't actually have Stealth Rock on my own team because Infernape is garbage. I could run Cobalion, but I just like the hyper-offensive nature of the team, and Cobalion would kind of deter the team from that. Regardless, he's going to switch out from his Garchomp into his Talonflame on the Bolt Seed. I get 5 hits. He's going to bring me down to Sash. I get off a Force Palm, he Brave Birds, and he realizes, oh crap, I should save this Talonflame, it's really useful. So he's going to go out to his Chomp, which kills off my Breloom because of the rough skin. Mega Lopunny is going to come out against his Latias. I Mega and Fake Out, and I go to Lucario because I assume, yeah, you know what, it's like the only thing that can take a Psyshock. He ends up doubling the Keldeo on that turn, and we're all caught up. I go out to Toxicroak because it's like the only thing I have that can take on a Keldeo. I'm going to kill Drain Punch because I assume he's not going to stay in. And then Mega Metagross is here. This is a bit of a threat, so it's a good thing Sucker Punch does half. I was kind of expecting it to kill, but I'm Jolly Toxicroak, not Adamant, so it does leave him with a smidgen as I'm going to go to Lucario, click the Extreme Speed button, as I'm not even sure if Bullet Punch would have killed Mega Metagross from where it was at, but 2 E-Speeds does a number to anything on Hyper Offense, which my opponent is pretty much running. I mean, if you wanted to go to T-Tar, close combat's going to kind of hurt. Keldeo's going to come in. I assume it was going to bring me down to the point where my thing activated, but at the very least it doesn't really matter because I'm going to sub now, and Acro is obviously the safer play against a Keldeo than High Jump Kick. But I'm going to sub with Hawlucha to get my Unburden activated and to get some HP back, and he ends up Healing Wishing his Talonflame that turn. Good play on his part, but tragic because at this point Hawlucha behind a sub's actually just going to be able to clean sweep him, as Hawlucha with Unburden activated is the fastest Pokemon in OU. Faster than any Scarfer, it is the fastest Pokemon in OU. High Jump kick the Tyranitar, do not miss. And Hawlucha is actually a pretty big part of why this team is undefeated on the Suspect ladder. As we get into Game 2 here, this is actually going to be a triple header. I personally went 8-0 on the Suspect ladder before I hit up I Play Tennis LOL and Tom Bus, and I'm like, guys, help, this team's undefeated, Tennis, give it a whirl. And then he went 9-0 with it, and he only lost his 10th game because of a freaking damage roll on the very last turn. It's actually surprisingly solid. It's very weird. Looking at my second opponent's team, he has a very fat looking team. It's got the Heatran Venusaur, it's got Bulky Ground, it's got T-Tar. Once again lead Breloom, but I realize, hey, Mega Venusaur is a bit of a problemo for this team, isn't it? Yeah, so this was actually the first time I faced it on ladder. My immediate response was, let's go to Toxicroak, as he's going to Synthesis, assuming I'm going to go for an attack. Not the worst play could have made. I mean, Leech Seeding wouldn't have really mattered. He is max HP, max special attack, or at least he's not physically defensive. I did the calc after the game. Offensive Mega Venusaur, aka just max HP, straight dies to a Gunk Shot from a Jolly Life Orb Toxicroak. If you are max defense, it does like 78 to 90. It's still ridiculous. Regardless, some switches have happened. I'm pretty sure they're all self-explanatory. I get Hawlucha in on a Keldeo as he was, I guess, forced to go for Secret Sword. Otherwise, I wouldn't have brought it in. And Hawlucha, once again, now that Mega Venusaur is gone, not even. I mean, like, it could have taken on a Mega Venusaur itself. Could it not have? Hawlucha's just kind of chilling. I mean, like, I've always wanted to use the damn thing, and the fact that it turned out to be the MVP on a team with basically the best 6 fighting types in the game, like, I can't think of a fighting type better than this other than Mega Medicham. I just thought of one, but I prefer Mega Lopunny just because of its speed. Against offense, it gives me a much better matchup. Otherwise, my fastest thing would be Keldeo and Hawlucha. Unfortunately, Hawlucha cannot 1v1 a Thundurus, but it's gonna be able to leave the game at a certain point at which Lopunny can come in and just clean up the scraps. I switch out to Keldeo there to sack it, just in case he wanted to click Thunder Wave. It would give me another fake out with Lopunny, which I'm going to take full advantage of. I'm going to kick the Keldeo in the face, and then finish it off with a Breloom. Shoutouts to this guy, by the way, for being the only human with a soul I've ever played on the Showdown ladder. As you can see, he's actually he was nice to talk to, and believe it or not, that's a very rare thing in today's game. People who aren't a complete jerk and selfless, soulless, just robots playing against you. Getting into the final game, this guy has a real looking team. I was a bit scared of team preview, to be completely honest. It is just straight up Hippo balance. He's got the Talon, Manaphy, Pharaoh, Hippo, and then he's got a really bulky Mega Altaria. Well, I can only assume because it's on Hippo balance, but regardless, Mega Altaria is not going to be too fun to break through, as really the only things I have are Toxicroak and Lucario with Bullet Punch, and the rest of the team is just fat. It's going to be difficult to break on through. He also has the Talonflame, obviously, which is a bit problematic, once again. So, leading off, third game in a row, just, you know, lead Breloom, Spore, get something out of commission. That Latios getting out, not too bad. I'm going to save this, though, just because I figure it'll be quite nice. As we're both going to Mega on the start of turn 3, I get Fake Out off on the Mega Altaria. I'm going to go for a quick Ice Punch. I'm looking at his team, and I realize he has a Hippo, he has a Talon. It's not going to be too useful, and I value the massive damage on this Mega Altaria a lot more. So I'm going to be able to go right out into Toxicroak. And I play this really poorly. I just go for Drain Punch. I recognize as well, I need damage off on the Hippo, and 50% damage on the Hippo without it having the ability to recover is going to be hard pressed to come by. So I just get the damage off, and get the free switch to Keldeo. This Keldeo is really neat, by the way. I've been running Rest Talk Keldeo for my entire OU playing career in the last month. So when I am tasked with the task of coming up with a Keldeo set that is not just dual stab Rest Talk, I come up with Icy Wind Calm Mind in the last 2 slots, which actually turns out to win more games than it costs. So, you know, anyway, as you can see here, I'm going to be able to use the Icy Wind to my advantage to kill the Latios, chew the hit from the Talonflame, kill it off, and lower the speed of Manaphy before I die, which allows me to go into said Breloom I saved earlier and click Bullet Seed for free. I shouldn't have clicked Bullet Seed because he gets a free switch to Pharaoh, but it was better to play it safe because Pharaoh obviously doesn't outspeed Breloom, and on the next turn I can just Force Palm and kill myself anyway. As I believe I only get up, he just goes for rocks now. He doesn't even go for rocks. He goes for Gyro Ball. Absolutely fine. As this is interesting. So I'm gonna go to Lucario. I feel like it's really my only play at this point. He doesn't really have a switch in for it, so it gives me basically a free kill on his Ferrothorn. Go for close combat. In comes Manaphy. This is where a little bit of the old Luckaroonies come in. Don't get burned on the first skull, get my Unburden activated. I'm just going to high jump kick this thing in the face. I need damage on the Manaphy. He doesn't burn me on the second one. Doesn't technically matter that he didn't burn me because Hawlucha could have died there. It allows me to get off an Acro and bring it low, but this is the play that matters. Skull has a chance to obviously burn and also put me into an HP range at which I cannot live 3 Life Orb hits. Luckily, I get it's about a mid-roll, but a tad bit on the lesser side, and at this point, Lucario late game, just like many UU games I've had recently, SD Lucario, just, what do you do? Late game, what do you have? Oh, check your switch-ins, the list is 0, and Lucario coming clutch in the final seconds. No Tornadus, please, coming through at the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like I said, the team's actually really fun to use. It takes a little bit of aggressive play, and I don't know, it is weird to use. I wouldn't recommend like going onto the suspect ladder and expecting Rex with it, but I have gone undefeated, and tennis, like I mentioned, went undefeated, barring a frickin' damage roll against a Tornadus on the last turn. Yeah, no, the screen is black. I should really stop talking. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take it easy, guys. Have a good day. See you later, and peace out.